I got a nice little letter that includes most of us, if not all of us, from a guy by the name of John Dinga, and he wrote this letter yesterday. And you can see it if you got a really good TV set or you want to walk over to the screen, you can read it. I'm going to read it to you, and it says, Sir John McDonough. Well, Fru, who is John Dinga? Fru,
John, I don't know this. There are people who watch the show and then just send it to you. So,
okay. So this John Dinga wrote this letter, and he says, please accept my best wishes to you and your entire staff of City Life for your generosity and openness. It may come across as presumptuous, but I can assure you that I speak to many Ambazonians who are struggling to shirk off a burden from their shoulders. We are fighting to return to a place and time where we expressed unlimited thank yous, I'm sorries, and other niceties that kept people bonded in joy. We have lost these over the last 60 years. Thank you for embracing conjurneer Fru Neckenbang and giving him a home away from home. Thank you for your hospitality in receiving our many leaders and for acting as a loudspeaker to the world. It is noble and admirable a noble and admiring commitment. From Fru Neckenbang, I gather that a few persons did not take kindly to your altruism towards us. Do not worry. At home, we know that the only trees that receive all sorts of missiles are those that bear fruit. To express this in a different way and give it an American twist, let me refer to Senator Elizabeth Warren's words. They hate you only because you are accomplishing something. Accept my heartfelt thanks for all of your efforts and best of luck to Jim Peters, George Zaharoulis, Cliff Krieger, Fru Neckenbeg, and all of the rest of your dynamic crew. That's from John Dinga. Thank you, John. God bless you. Appreciate your kind words.
Nice.
Back to you, Cliff.
That's nice.
We have so many fire trucks we can't keep them all in a garage. Why don't we trade a fire truck in? Send it off to Ambazonia where they can use a fire truck. I mean, why the heck do we keep these fire trucks?
They use equipment. We need them.
You know, if it's operational, send it off to Ambazonia. City of Lowell on the side of the truck. We love the Ambazonians. Cool. Let's do that. I'd feel better about putting fires out in Ambazonia than let the thing sit outside freezing.
That is a good idea. Let's do at least one right now. Let's send the oldest one over there.
That's a very good idea, and
we're gonna pay for shipping though.
And that's what Sister Cities is all about. So that the used equipments that are here, you can write it off and create an opportunity over there, because those used equipments, when you send them over there, they are new. I mean, they are state of the art, and then they will look up to us like big brothers helping the small one. I remember when my uncle, His Royal Highness, came here. That is what he said at the City Hall. That United States and Lowell are like big brothers.
Respectfully, Fru, I think it's a good idea. There's no writing off. The city doesn't write anything off. It's the government. They don't file a tax return with anybody, so there's nothing to write off. But I just don't like the waste I see in government. We just amass all this equipment, and it's never retired or given to somebody else who can use it. Just put it downstairs. Take a ride. Next time you're in a City of Lowell garage, take your car down to the lowest level and slowly drive around and see the assets the city is storing down there.
Earlier, do we have anything else from Ambazonia, Fru?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, my panelists, Cliff, everyone, George, Jim, and John, Dominic. You know, if from number of appreciation and thank you notes that we are receiving from all over the world, it shows that you guys are doing a wonderful job advocating for peace to reign in that part of the world, Ambazonia, thousands of miles away. And I really thank what all of you are doing. But I just have briefly just to say that, just to recap for those who are listening and they don't know what is happening in Ambazonia, permit me, if you will, please. I'll just take about 5-10 minutes to sum it up for those who are joining or listening for the first time. Ambazonia is a name for the former British Southern Cameroon. That was really the first democratic country in Africa. We became a British trusteeship after the Second World War that was placed under the UN and administered by Britain. French Cameroon was administered by France. Prior to 1960, we had 3 democratic elections. And in that 1960, I quite remember one of our greatest supporters was President Kennedy, who sent trucks and heavy equipment to construct roads, and they were Peace Corps in Cameroon, and we started this, what they call the farm to market roads, by digging roads from the cities and linking in the suburb. And that was very, very good development. So in 1960, the French Cameroon has its independence, 1st of January 1960, and they've only had one president since then. So we were supposed to have our own independence in 1961, of which 64 countries in the UN voted for us to have our own independence, like every other African countries that were coming out of the colonial rule. United States even voted for our independence. But because of reasons that are very, very deep to explain, they only offered us the opportunity to have our independence by joining with Nigeria, which was an English colony, or by joining with the French Cameroon, which was a trust territory that had gotten its independence 1st of January 1960. So without a choice for independence, we decided to join with the French Cameroon to form a federation of 2 equal states. But since that union, the French Cameroon, which is almost 75% of the population, gradually assimilated and tried to take over English Cameroon. They started by, first of all, dividing English Cameroon, Southern Cameroon, into 2 states, calling 2 regions, and also trying to bring in all French administrators to implement the French system of the governance into English Cameroon, and the French legal system, which is quite different. You call a civil law as opposed to common law. So since then, an independent state overrun by another independent African state, by another independent African state, now we have been marginalized. We are 25% of the population, but we contribute 76% to the national GPD of Cameroon. Show that we are one of the richest countries in Africa. So because of our resources, and with France backing French Cameroon, they totally invaded and tried to extinguish us. For 50 years, we have been so submissive, peaceful, and thinking that everything will be resolved by peace. But in 2016, peaceful Southern Cameroonians, the teachers, first started peaceful demonstrating that the English system should not be overcome by the French system. The lawyers too peacefully went on the street without arms and just demonstrating peacefully, like what happens in a democratic country like here. That's the norm in the British Cameroon. But the French, since they are not used to that kind of mentality, they employ the heavy arm of the government, of the military, and kill massively peaceful people demanding amelioration of their conditions and living as citizens in the same country. So in November 2017, the president of French Cameroon, who has been there since independence, waged war on the English side of Cameroon, and since then has been killed. There has been numerous killing, massive killing. The images are so horrific, and through that period, this panel since 2017 has been able to be the voice of the voiceless for the people of Ambazonia. They have done such a wonderful job by carrying this message to the international community and also reaching out to everyone and for the plight and the sufferings of the silent genocide that the international community has ignored. And when I listen to John read all those thank you notes coming from people in Bamenda far away to thank the people of Lowell and the host of this show, all of us discussing, I really see the bond between the transatlantic relationship that was established on November 5th, 2002 by the City Hall reaching out to build that transatlantic relation with the city of Bamenda, which is the economic capital of southern Cameroon. And that it is something that we really need acknowledge and thank all of you on this panel and the people of Lowell for accepting and welcoming the leaders of southern Cameroon that have come to this city and being interviewed. And there is that brotherly relationship that we, the people in southern Cameroon, look at Lowell as big brothers reaching across the Atlantic to sympathize and feel their pain and share it to the world. So I couldn't say much to thank this panel, but just know that you are on the right side of history, and people will remember you for what you do and stand up for people who are thousands of miles and advocating for their peace and liberty and freedom.
Thank you, Fru. And that was a good wrap up.